All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Matt Madness Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host for tonight, Ayla Aaron Lloyd. I'm joined with my guy, Act2 Flyer, Eric and Vicky. How you doing, baby?
Hey, I'm here, so that should explain it.
Yep, and the manhood dream has come true. So, as always, guys, subscribe on all podcast platforms, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, and Stitcher. Hold on.
Don't tell me.
Okay, I got it. Had a little issue, but we're back. So, as always, guys, subscribe on all podcast platforms.
I thought Prep was tapping in.
Oh no, we're live on YouTube, guys. So I had the YouTube window open, so I heard it coming back to me. So you might hear it back in the audio. But as always, guys, subscribe on all podcast platforms: iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Ringside Collectible, use code MMAD, save 10% off your order. YouTube.com, Matt Madness Network. Make sure to subscribe, thumbs up, turn on your post notifications, and comment. Thank you to everybody who wished Eric in the pod a happy birthday last week. Last week we were here.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
I did make it to the beach, by the way, to Eric's happiness. But we missed last week.
He's a real one.
Yeah, I missed last week. I had no voice. We're still recovering right now in the house. So
we got to cram 20 pounds of shit in a 10-pound
bag. It's not even
20.
Well, it just. Granted, the Rumble is a week and a half ago, but it feels like an eternity.
Well, whether it was an eternity or not, let's rate it.
Yeah, so go ahead and rate it. Give your rating for Royal Rumble.
I mean, overall, for what it is, I'll give it a low showstopper. I mean, it was 4 matches. And I know these PLEs have been shorter, and obviously the Rumbles both being an hour-long match. They were, I don't know, last time, we got a PLE that was just four matches. I think all matches delivered. I know it seems like a consensus of like everyone in the IWC and amongst our friends, people I talked to, that the women's match was the best of the night, which I love hearing, because your common wrestling fan isn't going to say that. You might get a smart say it, or, us hardcore fans, but like a lot of casual people said, man, the women's match was awesome. So that's so cool to hear, compared to 2018 when we went to the Rumble in Philly and it was the first women's one, and just to see the progress since. But I enjoyed every match. I did enjoy the men's Rumble. I do think it delivered. I know a lot of people complain that there was no real like retro surprise besides like an NXT call up or something along that line, but or a return like Andrade. But I do love it. I thought the show was great.
Yeah, I'll give it a week and a half removed. I'll give it a high slobber knocker. I thought it was good. I think a lot of people, as always, put a lot too much weight into the surprises. Like they want to be like surprised by returning people or legends instead of like NXT people or whatever. Yeah. But I thought we got a fair amount of surprises. I like the inclusion of Jordynne Grace. We talked about Naomi coming back. She did return, had a good show, and Jordynne Grace had a great showing. The debut of Jay Cargill, in-ring debut of Jay Cargill, I thought she had a fantastic showing. In the women's rumble, I thought was a superior rumble match compared to the men's. But the men's got a little bit hindered because of a couple of things that happened. We'll get to in a second. But I think it was a really solid show. Even Owens and Logan Paul was really good. In the Fatal 4-Way, I thought was really good too. But I think did a really good job. But that's my thoughts on the Rumble. It's a week and a half removed from there. So a lot's changed by then. It seems like a month's passed because of so much stuff that's happened.
Seems like it was back where Survivor Series was compared to
Yeah. So I'll just get this out the way. Vince is nasty. Get the fuck out of here. We got daughters. So a lot of things have happened in the last week and a half. All right. So I'm going to let you take this first, but Cody comes out, says he's going to face Roman Reigns, but not at WrestleMania. Then we have the Rock come out, Cody and the Rock embrace, and we have a stare-down between Rock and Roman to end SmackDown. Cody on Raw sees Seth, and Seth asks, is he going to challenge him at WrestleMania? Cody doesn't give an answer, and the segment is taken over by Drew McIntyre. There's the press conference tomorrow night at 7 on the clock. What are your thoughts on this whole Cody Roman Rock thing, and what do you think we get? Because there's like a new thing coming out every day since last Friday.
Yeah, and you know, you never know what to believe because you know every dirt sheet reporter is a scumbag, including us podcasters. But man, it's a lot to unravel. I hate to go with the Daniel Bryan fickle thing, but I'll even admit it about myself. Like, it is proof pro wrestling fans are fickle. I say that because if you look back at Jinder Mahal's segment a month ago and The Rock coming out, lit, electrifying, everyone talking about it, every casual fan coming out the woodworks, yesterday's fan, the Laps fan, all coming out like, oh, The Rock, The Rock. And, you know, I've talked to people about it for 6-7 months. There is a chance The Rock faces his little cousin at Wrestlemania. And I've heard a lot of casual people say, I'd watch that. I'd watch it if The Rock's there. I'm interested if The Rock's there. Man, but this is why I rank the Royal Rumble a showstopper. That main event, you saw me. I mean, like, despite the alcohol in the room, that is real emotion from just being a fan of somebody. I mean, the past 14 years, every time I watch the Royal Rumble, I'm drinking, but you're not getting that emotional feel. You're not getting that excited about your guy winning. First guy in 25 years to win it back to back. You know, there's some real emotion. While he's celebrating, he points at Roman. We're all getting that feeling, especially if you wanted Cody to win last year. This is going to happen. This is playing out perfect. It is a 2-year build. He returns at Mania in 38. The next night, the next week, he's declaring, I want to be champion. I want to do what my dad didn't do. He fought for a year. He got injured throughout that year, came back, won the Rumble, lost to Roman. People were upset. People were indifferent. Hey, look, next year he'll get it. This will show. Goes through with Brock, Shinsuke, several other storylines. He wins the Rumble. We're talking a couple weeks ago. He just wins the Rumble. He points at Roman. This is what we're expecting. And it's the biggest proof. Like, you look at all the records they broke last year for every premium live event, for the Rumble, for Mania last year. We don't need yesterday's talent. And this is where, like, in a weird way, like, it's really, really cool to be a modern day fan, because if you try to explain to somebody that's never watched this shit, like, why are we so upset about this guy getting his spot taken away by The Rock? Like, it's insane that Cody is having that effect on us. So I love it, and I love that Cody's getting that out of all of us. Man, I'm hoping we get some crazy swerve, but judging by a lot of social media posts, it seems like Rock and Roman is going to happen. I'm hoping somehow in another way it becomes a triple threat. I hope Rock's going to ref. Triple threat really seems to be the best case scenario here, because I feel like either way, this is Dwayne's last match. Like you just said, there's a different rumor coming out every other day. Like, the rumor that The Rock's pushing to win. Like, that's stupid. Come on. What, you're going to, like, he's going to get hurt during. Either way, I honestly think, yeah, the guy is obviously a genetic freak, but I think he's going to get hurt in this match. Guy hasn't had a match in 11 years. His last match when he lost the title, you couldn't tell during the match unless you're, like, psychoanalyzing it, but he got hurt and hasn't had a real match since. I also just, being a belt mark, I hate the fact, like, he's just going to come back. I get it. Former champ, whatever. But after 11 years, he's just coming in, walks him right into the main event of Mania and going to challenge for the strap. I don't know. Tomorrow's, this is going to be a long dissecting point. Tomorrow's going to be a lot. What's your thoughts on all this?
All right. So I'm glad you brought up, you think he'll get hurt, because God forbid, but I was going to say that myself.
God forbid, for sure. Like, I do love The Rock. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know this is fickle. I appreciate everything he did for me and my fandom, especially my youth. I do pop every time he comes back. I've watched some of his terrible movies. I want him to be my president one day. But you fucking with my cousin Craig Mack right now. It's a little crazy.
Yeah, so my whole thought on this is, all right, so we kind of got. Wait, let me say this. I love that everybody's pointing out that The Rock is still the number one contender for the WWE Championship per Booker T the night after WrestleMania 29. I'm enjoying that because that is a fact. After that match, Booker T, the next night, Booker T's The Rock's number one contender. So I do appreciate that. That is factual. But
wait,
when it comes to
pause. Say that again. I didn't know this.
There's an episode on the episode of Raw after WrestleMania 29. We lost to John Cena. Booker T came out and said The Rock is the number one contender for the WWE Championship. So he technically never got his rematch. So somebody on the major pod group.
This is hilarious because they could say they rebranded, but like he ain't the number one contender for the Universal title.
Like I said, I was like, that's great that somebody brought that up because that is factual. Because I remember that exactly. But we have to quote unquote let this finish the story, pun intended, because as of now, this makes no sense. They can make it make sense, but there's a lot that they have to do to make it make sense. Because the thing I'm hung up on is when Cody said on SmackDown was it's not going to be at WrestleMania. That's the thing I'm hung up on. Because okay, if it's not at WrestleMania, then when's it going to be? So that'll take on. So that with him saying that, that's taking out like any kind of like any way you could actually insert him into this match, unless, like I said, unless they make some sense out of something else. But we all know WWE.
Or The Rock says, "Nah, you got to do it." Unless he's. I mean, have you seen the comment section on his Instagram?
I have not, but I do know that that was the most unliked video in WWE. YouTube.
Look,
go ahead.
He's been advertising he had an Under Armour release yesterday. He was the minute it announced, or the minute it released, the day before when he's advertising it release, he's getting hundreds, thousands of comments of "We want Cody," "Go to hell," "Die Rocky die," "Go away Rock," "Give Cody his spot." Like everything he posts, if it's the UFL, the XFL, breakfast with his daughters, his daughter, his oldest daughter in NXT, deactivated her social media because she's getting death threats about this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how crazy it's getting.
Yeah, and like I said, WWE they have a hand in this because we keep getting we want, like, for example, I'm not sure you saw the report, but there was a report going around that they were handing out "We Want Cody" signs. WWE is posting "We Want Cody" on their own IG page. So there's something. So they're behind this. And when The Rock was on First Take a few weeks ago, he was talking about how you can make WWE bigger and reach a global audience and make stars bigger and have a bigger reach. And The Rock is that global star. So when the idea of him inserting himself into this match, because I'm not sure 100% sure what part you were in about the belief of when this match was going to happen. I was clear about it happening next year because everything Rock was saying was story, and when we do this. So, and then you could actually have a year of build because a build was a big thing about why it didn't happen last WrestleMania, and then he was talking about it this year.
So you think Rock doesn't wrestle at Mania and this is next year?
No, I'm saying originally I thought the match would be next year because he was talking about build constantly. And now it's like, okay, what's going on? Clearly The Rock's going to be at the press conferences around The Rock. You got Cody saying not at WrestleMania, so it's like, what the hell are you going to do? And then on top of that, he's not even answering if he's going to face Seth. So we don't even know what the hell's going to happen. They said tomorrow we have the press conference. Like,
I think, my opinion, he didn't answer because I think they're changing. Like even without Vince, we all know Vince changes the storyline at the last minute. I think that's what they're dealing with. They're dealing with everything changing because they weren't expecting that. Not in sports, 72 hours, but like worldwide, the number one trend on X for 72 hours was #We Want Cody. Mm-hmm. Then you get, during main event recording before Raw went on live at 8, they're chanting "We Want Cody." They chanted that at live events. They chanted that at the NXT pay-per-view. You saw the promo between Seth. It was Michael Cole even acknowledged it. Is it 1996 again? They were saying Rocky sucks. Rocky sucks. So So this is why I hate the whole thing. I read an article that The Rock doesn't care if he's booed. Get the hell out of here. I watched the kids show, Young Rock, where he was talking about how much he hated getting booed. There's no way he's going to want to be in a football stadium getting booed. And we're going to get to that topic in a minute, but I don't know. Tell you what, it would be a lot easier to accept if Cody didn't win the Rumble, at least for me. If Punk could have won the Rumble, and they could have put Cody, they could have buried Cody. Punk could have won the Rumble, challenged Seth, and then we could get Rock and Roman, and I could have figured something out. I'd have been all right. But the way you get Cody, you get it teased, you get him pointing at Roman, and then to get this force fed on you, I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I'll tell you this: good, bad, or indifferent, or if they're swerving us and we find out at 7 p.m. tomorrow, the one best thing I can think about it all is it's the most interested I've been in WWE in years. In years. I almost forgot Dynamite was on tonight. I watched, but I can't get my Bubba Ray said on Busted Open. He's like, everything going on Monday Night Raw is awesome. The tag division, the IC, everything, the women's. He's like, but I have a hard time while I'm watching it for 3 hours. I can't focus on anything because all I'm wondering is who's challenging for the World Championship? Who's challenging for the WWE Championship? What is Cody doing? What matches are going on? What is Drew doing?
Yeah, so like you said, the Cody point at Roman and this whole finish the story thing, it's like, okay, what the hell's going on here? And it's like Cody kind of it's like Cody's doing the whole baby face thing when baby faces tend to look stupid. It's like, well, I'm not gonna face you. I'm gonna let him face you instead. And it's like, but it's dumb. But at the same time, they're building something. And like you said, this is the most intriguing WWE has been in years because something's happening here. And The Rock being a part of the board here and his vision for WWE to make it bigger than what it has been, which is saying a lot. I think they're kind of up to a good start because to make it bigger, you need a big star. And I think this is what make Cody come out the biggest star.
What I am concerned
maybe
with,
on his level, if it's booked right.
They talk about this in WWE all the time about them getting nervous about when someone's getting over, what's going to happen after. I am genuinely nervous. I'm a fan of Cody. You and I both are. I mean, me and you got the hug and kiss with him in Philly, 2017, 2018. This is our guy. Thanks for what you're doing in wrestling. But, man, if he's not in this main event proper picture at Mania and we got to wait till SummerSlam or Survivor Series, I don't know how interested I'm in him in the next 3 months, 4 months, 5 months while waiting. You think I care about watching him versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the 19th time or Monday Night Raw? Yeah, it was cool to see him with the bull rope and get all bloody, but it's like, come on, he's going over. At this point, I'm petrified every time he gets in the ring. I'm scared to death he's going to get hurt. Not that he's injury prone like other people. It's just that he's been hurt once since being, back in New York.
Yeah, so we really got to see because this is going to be more intriguing than Daniel Bryan because the Daniel Bryan thing, Orton's not big as The Rock or Roman was, and Batista's not as big as Rock. I mean, big as Rock or Roman is either. And
so, go ahead.
And so this has the potential to be bigger than that because Bryan, we all wanted Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan he had to finish his story, but his journey wasn't like Cody's.
I'll tell you what, and I mean, it's documented on the show if you go in the archive. I didn't care about Daniel Bryan until he came back from injury. The yes movement, I wasn't I was watching that with a cold one in hand, what's Punk doing? I know, and I was in a minority with that, but I'm telling you, whatever the masses were feeling about that movement, I know I got to be feeling this thing with Cody way more. And again, yes, you're 100% right. Rock, a bigger star than everyone that was involved in that Daniel Bryan storyline in each direction. So I got to ask you, what did you think about the chants on Monday? And what do you think the chants are going to be like tomorrow during the press conference, which commentary put out multiple times? This is free to the public. They are encouraging, like, you're proving the point of, like, they're saying they want to make this bigger than the Yes movement, but like the Rock's gonna get booed at this place unless he's hiring or paying people to come there to like chant for him. I mean, if Cody's gonna be there, so the boos for Rock is gonna be silly.
So your question is, what do you think the reaction is going to be for Rocky?
Well, I guess I was wondering, like, did you feel one type of way or another on Raw? Did you like Rock getting booed? Did you like the reaction Cody was getting?
Well, I like the reaction Cody was getting because it's like everybody loves The Rock. Nobody really boos The Rock except Philly per Royal Rumble 2015. But
we're going to get to that.
But it's like, okay. And then when I see WWE acknowledging it, even the wrestlers acknowledging it, it's like, okay, this is a thing. And the commentary, they've been very keen on their verbiage. They're not saying anything. They are staying tight-lipped. They're not slipping, even when it comes to, like I said, Cody's promos about what's he doing. Every time that's the topic comes up, it gets interrupted. And they're talking about this press conference. Watch this press conference. Because like I said, for the last few weeks, we were talking about this Rock Roman thing. I've said I think The Rock will be at WrestleMania. I think Rock will help Cody even the odds and help Cody win the title, and we get Roman versus Rock next year. But that doesn't seem to be the case at this moment in time. But we kind of got to see where everything goes and see where this story finishes up at. But the press conference, I'm sure there'll be people boos, there'll be a bunch of boos there, whatever. I'm sure it'll be a mixed crowd because I'm sure it just won't be wrestling fans, and that's what The Rock is trying to bring in, not just wrestling fans. We, for example, when we were watching the Royal Rumble together, Craig was super excited and he kept talking about The Rock. Casual fans want The Rock.
Yes.
Even though
I'll tell you what, he enjoyed the Rumble enough. Like when I sent him like the thing, I sent him on Instagram like what's going on, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Oh shit, they're fucking me."
That's good. That's a good one. But like I said, The Rock's want to bring in these eyes to the product, and what's a good way to get eyes on your other guys is to be involved with The Rock. So we're going to see what's going to happen. But I'm very intrigued by this press conference. I'm really looking forward to it. I usually don't watch these things, but this I will have my eyes on.
This must sit not my people's champ.
So when it comes to that, we know that the WrestleMania card got a little tangled up because with the Vince stuff. So we have no Brock anymore, and the Punk injury. So with the world title, I'm thinking we get multi-man match for the title. I think it's Seth, Drew, and Sami Zayn. And if Cody's thrown in there, I think Cody's in there.
Oh, I mean, man, they really treat him like The Rock. Rock wins the Rumble, he's in a Fatal 4. Cody wins the Rumble, he's in a Fatal 4. I don't know. The only thing I care, I love the idea of getting stuck with Cody versus Rollins. Before Cody wins, Priest comes out, pulls the Seth. He cashes in and leaves with the strap. Cody's not pinned. Seth gets pinned. Cody focuses on going after Roman. But I'll tell you what. I felt the crowd wasn't extremely hot. We had a good match in New Orleans, Brock versus Roman, but that crowd was a little, we were a little bitter at the end of that. I'll tell you, man, that was New Orleans. Philly's going to be silly during this main event. I heard people say when it was just a rumor before the Rumble happened, I heard people say they're like, if The Rock's in the main event, I'm leaving. And
to quote Ron Patrick Jr., they got your money. Who cares?
True. Believe me. Oh, so believe I ain't leaving, but I am gonna be there, losing my voice, talking some shit.
So
I didn't boo the Rock in 2015 in the Rumble. I couldn't understand that our city was doing it, but I'm gonna be partaking in it in 60 something odd days.
So you talk about the triple threat with Roman, Cody, and Rock. I also think that makes no sense because it's a family affair. This is about being the head of the table. I do think if that was to be a triple threat match and Cody beats Rock, that's like the ultimate rub because Cody beat The Rock, and then that gives Cody a reason. That gives Roman a reason to face Cody later down the road.
Yeah,
but at the
do
same
that
time, it's
SummerSlam,
like
keep him
that makes
strong.
no sense because it's a family affair.
It makes sense because Cody won the Rumble. Doesn't make the sense that Rock sneaks in it, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't make sense for it to be a triple threat match with The Rock. If somebody else came in, fine, but Rocky, no.
I'm glad Seth finally said it on Raw. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, Cody going against Rollins. Okay, cool. So you can be 4-0. Like, I never need to see that match again unless Rollins is winning.
Mm-hmm. and then on SmackDown, Roman just shit on the World Heavyweight title.
He shit on his little brother. I have no problem with it. I thought it was good. A lot of people were crying about it, but
no, it was good. I'm just saying he just shit
great.
on it.
It was great.
He just shit on it. And it's like, okay, Cody, this is what you. It makes Cody look. That's why it makes Cody look stupid. It's like, okay,
This is the loser bracket.
Go for this title. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense.
He's like, I beat everyone in that tournament.
At all. But I do like where we're going on the road to WrestleMania. You talked about the tag team division. It's great. You talked about a couple weeks ago, Pete Dunne is back with Tyler Bate. Tag team division is doing actually really good. I'm really excited about Braun Breaker. Per the reports, we know Brock Lesnar's not going to be around. And the reports are saying that Braun Breaker is taking his spot in everything. And that includes the Royal Rumble. And when you watch the Royal Rumble and how that panned out, that report is accurate. Because the Pat McAfee spot was great with Braun Breaker and Omos. And then we see him getting teased on Raw with Braun Breaker and Gunther for the IC title. And I wanted Brock versus Gunther because I thought it would be great to see Brock challenge for the IC title because he's only done it once. But Braun Breaker versus Gunther, sign me up.
I'm here for that in a non-title capacity.
Oh, Lord. I'm speaking of the IC title. We saw it.
I know my new champion's about to be.
Well, we'll get to that. So one thing about the Royal Rumble I did love was that the Usos came out 1 and 2, and we only got 90 seconds of them facing off. I did enjoy that. So Jey Uso interrupts Gunther on Raw.
Main event, Jey.
And when
the crowd. Besides Cody coming out, that is.
And we talked about on this show on a weekly basis. Well, every time Gunther defended the title, how invested we were in that match, no matter who he fought, whether Shad Gable, Miz, Sheamus, McIntyre, it didn't matter who. This might be the most invested in a match you will be because Jey Uso is
over.
No, because Jimmy Uso is going to cost him the IC title, and that leads to the WrestleMania match.
You know what? It makes so much sense, but
the investment that you'll have in this match because you're going to want this more than anybody else. We talked about
Jey
Uso challenging Gunther.
When I was waiting for this show to go live, I was listening to Jay's theme music. I was sitting in here.
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you did that alone a lot. But like I said,
I was half drunk waiting there. So.
But like I said, the investment we're going to have in that match at Chamber is going to be incredible. That has match of the year contender written all over it because they're going to take all of our they're going to pull all of our strings and have us thinking Jey Uso is going to win that match, but for Jimmy to steal it from him, and I can't wait.
It's so good, but I would love for Jay to win it, and then we get that crossover, and it's him defending it against his brother for the IC title at Mania. I just think that would be fire. But I love the idea of Jay getting a singles title, especially the IC title. All the family lineage that have held that.
But we're gonna get Gunther versus Braun from what it looks like, and I cannot wait for that at all. And Bailey, she finally talks about she makes her decision already, and she's going to challenge Io Sky, like we talked about.
Beautiful. After 5, it feels like 5 years, but I think 5 years as a heel, finally back to being a babyface.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long. It's been since 2019, believe it or not. But I'm looking forward to that as well. But we got that at WrestleMania, and apparently, my Sasha Banks theory is no more. I'm not sure if you watched Dynamite, but there is a show coming up on the TD Garden in Boston on the 13th of March.
Big business.
And I'm not sure if you've seen the graphic, but on the graphic, it says Boston with $signs. So looks like we're getting the debut of Mercedes Moné in AEW.
They're going to tease it first, trick us. Okada's going to come out, and then we'll get her later. Both of them are money time.
Yeah, we'll see. But
I saw a graphic. I saw somebody put a teaser about that. I didn't even think of Okada because honestly, I was expecting Okada to come out when Gunther was doing that thing, or when he was first starting. I'm like, who the hell? Like, who's left on this roster now? Like, we should be able to even like. I'll tell you what. Like when they got like Ciampa and Miz to like make me think there's a chance. I'm like, all right, they're running out of people.
But they got everybody's beloved Jey Uso. Everybody loves Jey Uso. Might be the most over guy other than Cody in the company.
I might be at Wale Mania in a Yeet shirt.
I can see that. You might get on stage.
Yep.
All right. Did you watch anything this week?
Man, well, I watched Dynamite tonight, and I watched I didn't watch all the NXT. I fell asleep watching it because I had a lot of sleep to catch up on. I watched Raw live, but yeah, nothing unique that was like, re-catching up.
Okay, so I did finish. So I did finish NXT. I thought it was a good show.
I bet you did.
As always, solid show. They're not what they used to be, but they're solid shows. Everything doesn't always hit, but as far as like character development and stuff, it's all there. Like I've been talking about on a weekly basis. The match I got. Go ahead.
As a huge mark, just because we brought up Braun already, and I love when these people from NXT do double duty, like Carmelo's been doing for a while, like in the U.S. title tournament, showing his face in SmackDown, and then now he's just turned in NXT. Braun's supposedly coming up. Not see him and Baron winning the NXT tag titles?
I don't know because they're all intertwined now. So like he can. But who knows what's going to happen? Because the Wolf Dogs, great tag team, excellent chemistry.
Yeah,
they really do.
The comedy, even and Baron being like the one that's like carrying the comedy. Braun carrying the comedy is great. I love the idea of because Braun was the last NXT UK champion. You can say this would be his third NXT championship. Baron's won the U.S. title once, hasn't won it, so he's got 2 trophies and a U.S. title. So, him winning a tag title, I do love in the promo him saying I haven't had gold in forever. I mean, got a soft spot for the guy just because he's a good company guy and all the different characters he's done in the past couple years. I'd love to see them win this. Yeah,
so I believe they have a tag title match next week. The Chase U stuff is great. With JC Jane trying to save Chase U, that whole thing is great and it's been well played the entire time. Dijak and Joe Gacy. Dijak's a guy. Those are 2 guys I don't pay a lot of attention to them, but I know when I hear Dijak on a pay-per-view card, sign me up because that match was insane. And the women's match really piqued my interest. I was really invested in that because Roxanne Perez, she's had a whole new She started to show aggression and frustration. She keeps
the heel runs are going great for her.
Well, she's not even nearly she's not even a heel. That's the thing. She's a face. She's just frustrated because everybody keeps fucking getting in her fucking way, and she keeps getting screwed up opportunities. So Lola Vice interferes in the match, and then Tatum Paxley interferes in the match when she has a match won, and it's a great story build for her because it's going to be up for a year where she got hurt and she defended her title in a ladder match. I keep saying she never lost it, but she was in that ladder match and she lost the title, but she was never pinned for it. If you want to say that, she never really lost it.
Mm-hmm.
But Trick Williams and Dragunov. Trick Williams has come a long way. I talked to you about it a while ago when he first debuted. My boy was like, he's going to kill somebody out there, but he's come a long way. Invested in the match. Melo turned
Mania at 44, 45 at the latest. He's world champion.
So over. Even when he debuted on came out to help Melo on SmackDown a few weeks ago, the fact that everybody knew who he was great too.
Yeah, he's. I mean, we both love Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is a star. Man, like there was the early Shawn Michaels and Diesel comparison. I mean, it could never be more accurate, but like, he's such a better Diesel.
He is.
He's such a better Diesel.
And like, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the show in Philly because it's so early on that Saturday morning, but I already know.
You're gonna be hungover. Oh, never mind.
Trick's going to be
try to keep
so
up with me. You'll
over.
be hungover.
I can't do that. I'm getting old, buddy. Trick will be so over.
I'm older
at Philly. I know, man. I can't be doing. I'm getting old, baby. I can't be doing that no more. Get me doing that. And I also watch Love and WWE.
I gotta check that out. Hulu, right?
Montez. Yep, Hulu. I'm 6 episodes in. Well, 6.5 episodes in.
Did they drop it all at once, or is it you get
They did. It's all at once. Really good show. I don't bring up race a lot, but as a black community, we need to see this. We need this show because I think a lot of times we take in so much fuck shit that we don't appreciate the little things. And there's no bullshit in this show. There's no drama. There's no tea. This is just love and legit WWE. That's it. You know,
that's dope.
We talked about Bianca Montez when we first saw them in 2017 at Mae Young Classic, and we saw him at the NXT house show. And we talked about how when we saw them together, like, no, these two are made for each other. And that is exactly what you'll see when you watch this show. The matching clothes isn't just the clothes. It's fucking pajamas too. And workout gear is a legit thing. It's about they're going from the road to WrestleMania, from last year's Rumble to last year's WrestleMania.
I'd love to watch her, and I can't remember if WWE put anything about it. Like, I want to see her reaction to him in the chamber.
Yeah, he's in there. That is there.
Because he showed his ass.
Yeah, they did, and like it was an interesting run because he talked about his singles record. I don't know if you remember, but last year, me and you were kind of touting him as possibly splitting from Dawkins and being the U.S. champion.
It's sad it didn't happen.
I know, because I remember you picked him to win the U.S. title, and I said no because he was going to face Cena. But I'm not mad at that idea of him being the U.S. champion because we kept talking about him and Dawkins breaking off and how Montez Ford is such a star.
Or like, obviously not going to happen because everything we got the profits right now. And Lashley started tangent, but like Mania, him versus Logan, sign me up.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a really good show. So I got an episode and a half left. They're almost at WrestleMania, and they also like most of the show. They show how things can change within WWE. They talk about one good thing about the show I do like is the balance. They're trying to show each other their balance, like they're between their work and personal life. How they don't always have the most time for their personal life or their friends or their family, so they make the best out of it. And Bianca even has like some friends where she's trying to compare like just average life to their life. It's like pretty much the same. So, really good show. I highly recommend watching it. I hope we get to season 2. So whatever you can do, you gotta get that show to season 2. I recommend everybody do it. Whether you gotta give it a 5 stars or actually write a review, whatever you gotta do now. So after you thumbs this show up, go watch that show and thumbs that show up. But beyond Love and WWE. Oh, and I also think it should be called Love and WWE and Angelo Dawkins because Dawkins is fantastic in that show.
Yeah, I look forward to taking a look at that.
Yeah, he is absolutely fantastic. And also for something else that's on the cock, Ted is fantastic.
I love all the Ted movies. So I look forward to seeing that. Plus, all the clips that keep going viral on Instagram kill me.
I haven't seen the movies in years, but that show is fantastic.
I don't know if there's 3 movies. Like I know I saw like Ted
There's
1
2.
multiple times, and then I've watched Ted 2 for the second time in forever recently, and Ted 2 is underrated. But all right, cool. I'm glad there's not a third that I haven't missed.
Yeah, there's only 2, but Ted's fantastic.
You sure there's not a third?
I'm pretty positive
Okay, I trust you.
because I'm trying to think if I've even seen Ted 2. I don't think I have.
It might be on. I think it's on Peacock.
It is, but I'm trying to remember if I actually saw it. I don't recall ever watching it because I know Mila Kunis is in there, so I don't recall watching it. I don't know. I'm about to revisit that, but yeah, Ted definitely excellent watch. Love WWE excellent watch. Vengeance Day an excellent watch. You got anything else for me?
Of stuff to watch,
or anything in general?
No, nothing on that front.
Oh well, also I'm shocked you didn't bring this up, but we have new AEW Tag Team Champions.
I thought you would ask, if there was anything serious AEW. Because again, thought we'd be tuning this up a little early. It's great, and again, being fickle. Crap on The Rock, who hasn't been around in 11 years. You got Sting at 93 years old. Ricky Starks and Big Bill tonight, and winning his 20th championship ever. He's the AEW champion. We had a beautiful attack by the Bucks afterwards. Can't wait to see. And I love this. Like it's typical wrestling fans. Like we're gonna end up loving the Bucks as heels while they've been crapping on them for the past couple of years. It's gonna be a beautiful way for Sting to go out. It is gonna be cool after his 3, maybe 4 years in AEW. See him with a title. I think I did have one of those 4-packs of just the championships, and I was thinking about busting them out to throw it on a Sting and Darby figure. But yeah, that's some shit.
You'll have to
say it again.
You have to dig up an accolade about him being an AEW Tag Team Champ, like some old promotion he was in, like in the 80s. He was the first person to do all this.
Goodness, or just think about like the other people he's been tag champions with in like other territories. Just put Darby against any Darby next to Warrior. Like I'm sure he won some like small Fed tag title with Ultimate Warrior when he was the Dingo. To Lex Luger, they were the tag champs, and then Darby.
Well, and the one thing I've been keeping my eye on in AEW is one of my favorite wrestlers is, Deonna Purrazzo and Toni Storm. I can't wait for that to happen.
That's going to be great. A banger match you do got to watch. Actually, 2, because we didn't record last week. Last week in the main event, guy can still go like a stud. 56 years old, I think they're saying is. Rob Van Dam versus Swerve was an insane match. And RVD is the only person. He came out, and Joe couldn't help himself. Joe went babyface during commentary. Geeked out fanboy watching Rob Van Dam came out. It's the most babyface Joe you've gotten in AEW in months. And then obviously he went right back to heel at the end of the show, or he was heel completely tonight. But he geeked out fanboy when he came. And then we had a 30-minute draw, which I think was either the second or third one in AEW history. So now Joe's going to be defending the world title in a triple threat against Swerve and Hangman. But so basically, we had the double turn tonight. Hangman's turning babyface Hangman's turning heel. Swerve asked for 5 more minutes. Hangman said, "You needed to beat me. I didn't need to beat you." He rolled out. Hangman got booed tonight. Swerve was the one getting cheered. So there is that double turn. I don't know what's exactly going to happen. I assume Swerve is going to get turned on by the embassy, or they're all going to turn face, but I can't really – I don't know. Either way, it's cool to see. You always got to love a good double turn.
So you think we'll get the next match at Revolution?
Oh, we have a triple threat of Revolution.
With Swerve?
Swerve, Joe, Hangman.
Oh, for the title. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, triple threat. Joe did kind of scathing program about how they're trying to take the belt off him. Tony must hate him, blah, 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 blah. But It's cool stuff. I believe it's going to be Swerve's first shot at the title. Hangman being a former champ, Joe being a champion everywhere. It's a cool match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Got anything else for me?
That's really it. I mean, AEW wise, that's the hottest stuff going on. There's some cool interpromotional stuff going on this week and last week with CMLL against the BCC. But then after each match, multiple luchadors come out, and then AEW locker room comes out to help the BCC. So it's kind of like a company divide. That's cool to see. It's almost like BCC is face, and then Claudio wins a match with a low blow. So it's so hard to tell what the hell's going on with them. But yeah, overall, AEW's been doing okay. I don't want to say bad. I don't want to say rockstar great. I just need them to do better than what they did in 23. 23 was by far their worst year, and as a big mark for them, it did hurt. But yeah. So hopefully, we got this press conference tomorrow. I just hope Cody doesn't come out of it looking like a fool.
Yeah, or out this whole thing looking like a fool, because listen, the fact that they're behind it, I already have faith in it. But we'll have to wait and see.
If he's not in the main event on night 2, it's the fault. Before the Rumble, he did interviews. He said the story has to be finished at Mania in Philly. And that was my guy's word at the beginning of January. Why does that change by the beginning of April? I don't know. Unless you got some genetic jackhammer saying, hey, I'm the biggest star in Hollywood. Back the fuck up. I'm now TKO's HNIC.
And also, it's the tagline for the video game as well. Like last year's video game. Like when people were last year, when people were so up in arms thinking John Cena was going to beat Theory. Like, he's not. The tagline, the video game is sponsoring the show. The tagline, the emphasis on the video game was Cena's defeats. He's not going to beat Theory. Marketing 101. So everybody was all up in arms. He's going to beat Theory. He's not going to beat Theory. And this one's about finishing the story. So Cody will, somehow, Cody will be champion come after WrestleMania.
But we do agree, him winning the new big gold is not finishing the story.
It's not. That makes absolutely no sense.
No.
Zero. And this is the first part of it's crazy to say, but Rock has more power than Triple H.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
If you'd have asked me 2 years ago, I would have thought that sounded really cool. It sounds really stupid right now.
That's wild to me. He has more power than Triple H 2 weeks in. That's wild.
Triple H has more hair, though.
That is wild. So, all right, I'm asking one more time. Is that everything you else got for me?
That's it, man. I don't know. That's it. Till next time.
All right, guys.
Till next time, I'm lost.
All right, guys. Make sure to thumbs up, turn your post notifications, subscribe to all our podcast platforms. Ringside Collectibles, use code MMAT, save 10% off your order. For X25, Eric Trembicki, I'm Alo Aaron Lloyd, and we'll see you guys next week.